intended for one hater, but all haters. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters make me famous. Haters.
Call it my battleground. I'm on the center stage where suckers be talking that, but not to my face. Making major moves while them haters prove nothing no harder you shine. You know them haters come by the dozen. All them haters that be talking about us, they be hating on our grind, cause you know we coming up. We be spending all the time on these rhymes and the clubs. You can't steal my shine, cause I'm prime, never mind, cause fame and fortune be the only notion for them haters do. Many years in the game, so you know I paid my dues. No need for the fame, I'm taking names, so I know. And when Moshe blows up, I'm emailing all them.
Haters make me famous.
What the haters know about that Moshe music? Haters.
Haters make me famous.
I do this 25/8 pain and sweat on these tracks, haters.
Haters. Haters make me famous.
I have no dinner table, my studio is the kitchen. Haters.
Haters make me famous.
I got a degree on my wall, so it says I know what I'm doing. Haters.
Haters.
I dust off them haters, and then I take a pause. It's a shame that this game got us all so involved. They flapping their jaws, and they grinding their teeth. Everybody fighting for the microphone on my beats. See my and my word is all I have. Call me Tony Montana on this label that I have. Having anger towards everyone, reaching success. Haters coming, and I'll be their number one prospect. I work real hard, it gains some respect. 24 hours on the beats and the internet. We fighting like some dogs, showing flaws with no regrets.
You're so fine and you're all mine. I just want everybody want to know. I'll tell the world, yeah. I'll tell the world. I just want everyone to know.
Good morning or good afternoon to our East Coasters. What is going on? Cap Nation Live. It is Thursday, the 20th of October. What is going on? Going to be breaking down the NFL, college football, putting you guys on more juice. Ronald says, what's up, my brother? Another day to win some money. Damn straight we need it after yesterday. How does the baseball game get 5 home runs? As a matter of fact, I see Brennan just asked the same flipping question. How do you get 5 home runs? 12 hits, all them walks, all those runners on base, and let's not forget, as I've already said, 5 dingers. And you can't pop 6.5. How that game doesn't go over is beyond me. I mean, what, 4 walks by Yankees pitchers. Only 2 by the Astros. But I mean, 6 walks, 12 hits, 18 runners reach first base, and 5 home runs. Not 2, not 3, not 4. You usually get 2 or 3 home runs and you pop the over, right? 5 dingers. My Lord. 5 solo home runs with a total of 18 runners reaching base. Apollo, I looked because I seen your comment. I don't have a fucking email from you. If we had an email, we would reply to it. So, don't know why. Maybe it's your web server or whatnot. But I had him check the spam. We don't have one from you. Plain and simple. I have checked. I even checked personally. Maybe you're unsending them like that message. Ross Pitts, what's going on? Anthony says, good afternoon. Nick Martinez, good afternoon. Says, good afternoon. Kyle and Cap Nation, tough loss, but glad Houston won. Yes, definitely glad Houston won. It was a very tough loss. I think I'm still pissed off. 5 dingers. And it doesn't go over. 5 dingers and it doesn't go over. Insane. Alrighty, so yesterday during the live chat, I somehow stumbled upon the poll feature, which was pretty damn cool. The poll was very, very, very split when it came to App State laying 9 or Georgia State plus the 9. And obviously, Georgia State plus the 9 was looking amazing in the first half if you were rolling with that, which I wasn't. We were on App State laying the 9, and I had a teaser on App State in the over. But App State came in the second half and blew them out of the water. But that game stayed under the 60. That game stayed under the 60. Can you believe that? 59. I bet it as a teaser. I gave it out all the personal plays as a teaser. App State laying 2, as well as the teaser over 53. So we cashed that one, luckily. But we're going to continue this little trend of running polls in the live chat because personally, I thought it was fun. Apollo, why are you not getting the next play after a guaranteed loss? You are. Everybody's account is reactivated. Every single time one happens like that, if it's a guaranteed play, the account gets reactivated. Game of the years don't have any guarantee on them, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's why they're only $50 and not $500 like they were 4 years ago. But yeah, we're going to continue the little trend of rolling with some polls today because I thought it was kind of fun to be able to see and poll everybody rather than, the other way that we were doing it. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm getting ready to put in the first one for when we break down the first game, which will be in the NFL. And by the way, before we start doing the poll, I'm going to put the poll out there because we're going to jump right into the NFL. We'll start with the NFL. We'll run a poll for every one of the breakdowns that we do today. Best bet for Thursday Night Football, Saints versus the Cardinals. Saints are now plus 2.5, minus $1.15. Cardinals are laying 2.5, minus $1.15. The over 43.5, minus $1.15, or the under 43.5, minus $1.15. Post up in the comment section what you guys are rolling with. Would love to be able to see what you guys are rolling with. By the way, if you haven't done so, please do hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it when you do. Please hit that thumbs up button. And drop a comment in the comment section right here. As well as, if you're the one taking the Cardinals laying 2.5, also post in the comment section after you enter the poll as well, which one you selected as well. So that way we can point our fingers and laugh when you're wrong and single you out. Now, we don't laugh or point fingers at anybody or anything like that, We don't roll that way here, but no, we would love to be able to see it and get a lot more user interactions and whatnot. So make sure you guys participate in the poll as well as drop in comments. Blake says, "I have the Cards money line. You think that's a good pick?" We'll take a look at the breakdown. I don't know if we're necessarily going to be giving out everything, but Cards at home should be good, but it's the Cardinals and it's Kyler Murray, so you never know what you're going to get. Betting on Kyler Murray is like opening up a box of chocolates from See's Candy. You never know what you're going to get. Timothy says the under 43. Anthony says 2-team teaser, Arizona and the over. Rospit says I really like the Cardinals money line. Kirk says prop bet Cards total rushing yards for the team over 118. And by the way, once we run this poll, we're going to actually break down individual polls. Saints, Cards, over, under, if they're close. Like right now, the voting is pretty widespread. 71% rolling with the Cards, 21% on the Saints plus 2.5, and only 7% selecting the over and 0 on the under in the poll right now. Mike says Cardinals laying 2. Mr. Grover likes the money line of Arizona. And we will take a look at this game. We're going to break it down in depth. And if you guys want something on this game as far as a free play, it's in the daily free play video if you have not watched it yet. If you have not watched it yet, it's in the daily free play video. But here's what I want to know. If you were to develop your own power ranking system, and you compiled it with offense and defense, special teams, the whole works overall, right? What is your top 5 in the NFL power rankings? As of today, what is your top 5? As far as what we see. I'd have to say Buffalo is number 1 in my opinion. With Kansas City right behind them, coming in at number 2. I'd have to say the Eagles sitting at 3. And then I have it as a 3-way tie for 4th. I have a little 3-way tie for 4th, and that is between the Ravens, and I even hate to say this, but the Bengals, maybe a 4-way, Dallas and Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa's there yet until Tom Brady pulls his head out of his ass. I just don't think Tampa deserves a top 5 spot, even though I've listed 6 teams. But I've got a 3-way tie for 4th between Dallas, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. I think I could plead a case on either one of why one of those teams should be 4th or 5th. And yeah, Eagles, I might have a little high at 3 as far as schedule goes. But it ain't based off of strength of opponent, in my opinion. This is based off of what we've seen so far, through 6 weeks of football. And whatnot. I mean, the Eagles, it's called Any Given Sunday for a reason, and they're 6-0. You got to give credit where credit is due. And yeah, they may have a slightly, weakened schedule, but let's see. They beat the Cowboys. They beat Arizona in Arizona. They beat the Jags. They beat Washington. They beat Minnesota, who I've got up there in a power rankings. I mean, Minnesota's 5-1, so you can't really say the Eagles haven't played anybody. That wouldn't be a fair statement because they beat the 5-1 Vikings, and their only loss, the Vikings, was to the Eagles. So, I mean, the Eagles are tied for the second best record. Or not Eagles. The Vikings are tied for the second best record in the NFL at 5-1. And they beat the Dolphins. They beat the Saints. They beat the Lions. As well as a big win over the Packers. But as we saw, the Jets have also beat the Packers. I mean, who would have thought? Let's be honest. 6 weeks into the NFL, you got the Eagles leading the charge 6-0. The Bills, 5-1, expected. The Chiefs 4-2, expected. Now here's the unexpected. The Vikings 5-1. The Giants 5-1. Then you've got the Chargers, the Cowboys, and the Jets 4-2. The unexpected Titans 3-2. The Bucks 3-3. The Ravens 3-3. The Rams 3-3. The Bengals 3-3. The Packers 3-3. All insane craziness to start the year in the NFL. The term any given Sunday, let's just see if it sticks for the entire season, and I believe it will. Renault says the Jets are the biggest surprise this year. They are definitely, I wouldn't say the biggest surprise, because maybe they win, or maybe they lose every game from here on out. The Giants at 5-1 is a surprise. The Giants 5-1 is a surprise. They beat the Ravens 24-20. They beat the Packers 27-22. Okay, they had the Bears 20-12. They lost to the Cowboys 23-16. They beat the Panthers, and they also had that week 1 win over the Titans 21-20. For the New York Giants to be 5-1, holy hell. They've actually had a very good schedule. What's the Ravens cover schedule? Or what are the Ravens done for covering for the season? Don't have it in front of me, but give me a second, I'll tell you. They're 3-3. Straight up and against the spread. 2-4 to the over, so 4 of their 6 games have gone under the total as well. But here we are. We're going to roll down the list, and we're going to go over everybody's record as well as their against the spread record. We'll skip the totals for now. Saints, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. Cardinals, 2-4 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. Lions, 1-4 straight up, 3-2 against the spread. Dallas, 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread. Giants, 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. Jacksonville, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. The Colts, 3-2-1 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. The Titans, 3-2 straight up, 3-2 against the spread. Falcons, 3-3 straight up. A perfect 100% 6-0 against the spread. Catch on to that trend, folks. Falcons, 6-0 straight up. Or 6-0 against the spread. Bengals, 3-3 straight up. 4-2 against the spread. Browns, 2-4 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. Ravens, 3-3 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. The Buccaneers, 3-3 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. And then you've got Carolina, 1-5 and 1-5. Packers, 3-3 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. Washington, 2-4, 2-4. The Jets, 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread. And then you got Denver, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. The Texans, 1-3-1 against the, 1-3-1 straight up, 4-1 against the spread. Texans, 4-1 against the spread. I'm going to say that again and whisper it. The Texans, 4-1 against the spread. Raiders, 1-4 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. Kansas City, 4-2 straight up. A wise man once said, if you bet Kansas City against the spread, you're going to get your asses handed to you. Kansas City's 2-4 against the spread. The Niners, 3-3, 3-3 against the spread. Seattle, 3-3, 3-3. The Chargers, 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. Steelers, 2-4 straight up, 2-3-1 against the spread. The Dolphins, 3-3, 3-3. By the way, the Steelers, I told you in the beginning of the season, insta under, they're 4-2 to the under. The Bears, 2-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. Patriots, 3-3 straight up, 3-2-1 against the spread. There you go. That's a rundown of the teams that are playing this week that I actually have sitting in front of me. Obviously, there's 4 that I don't have in front of me, but Falcons, 6-0 against the spread. Texans, Mauricio says the New York teams are rocking money. That they are. They are definitely rocking. Just taking a look at something. By the way, I will be at the football game today. Going over our poll, Saints plus 2.5 is collecting 25% of total votes. Cardinals laying 2.5 has got 54%. The over at 11, the under at 11%. If you guys haven't done so, keep hitting those poll numbers. All right, we're going to jump into this game day breakdown. And by the way, if you haven't done so, please do hit that thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate it when you do. So hit that thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate it when you do. All right, we got the Cards at home averaging 19 points a game. The Saints averaging 23.5 points a game. I will be in attendance. Saints averaging 152 a game on the ground, 5.4 yards per carry. They're averaging 230 in the air at 6.8 yards per passing attempt. Then you've got the Cardinals averaging 119 a game on the ground, 4.4 yards per carry, to 227 in the air at 5.3 yards per passing attempt. A check down, a check down, a check down, a check down, it seems. Murray to a check down, Murray to a check down, Murray to a check down. Murray to a little slant. Murray to a little slant. Old D-Hop is back today, so we'll see if that changes. D-Hop is back today, so we'll see if those down-the-field passes for the Cardinals, at least that threat will change with DeAndre Hopkins running down the field one-on-one. If he gets one-on-one, watch the ball to go his way every single time. But if he's not one-on-one, it's going to open up somebody else. Him just having a presence on the field will help the Cardinals offense. Now, if Murray makes the right decisions, that's beyond, what me and you can control. All right? Defensive-wise, you've got the Saints that give up 26.3 points per game. The Cards are giving up 23.7 points a game. All right? You got Cards giving up 104 a game on the ground, 4.3 yards per carry. Then they're giving up 233 a game in the air at 6.8 yards per passing attempt. They are +2 in the turnover department. Whereas the Saints are a whopping negative in the turnover department. There is a 9 turnover advantage for the Cardinals as the Saints are -7 in the turnover department. By the way, it hasn't been announced Andy Dalton starting. Just signs point towards Andy Dalton starting. That was released 2 hours ago. I haven't seen if there's been any other update. Saints defense gives up 121 a game on the ground at 4.6 yards per carry and 222 at 6.9 yards per passing attempt. Saints 13-2 against the spread the last 15 games on the road against fortunate teams with a turnover differential of better than +3 per game. All right. By the way, the Saints 10-0 to the under when playing on Thursday. The Saints are perfect 10-0 betting the under when played on a Thursday. And by the way, the last 4 head-to-head matchup when played in Arizona have gone over the total. If that doesn't contradict the Thursday stat, I don't know what does. The last 4 times these teams have played in Glendale, Arizona, the total has gone over the total. All right? Over the total in Arizona. However, the last 10 games on Thursday for the Saints have gone under. If you want to know what we're rolling with on this one, then you need to watch the daily free play video. I gave it out there. Matter of fact, I gave you 2 anytime touchdown props that are going to cash as well. All right, so if you want to know what we're on for this game, you need to watch that daily free play video. Now, the poll seems to be fairly decisive that the chat is rolling with the Cardinals laying 2.5. That's getting 40% of the votes. 32% are saying the Saints. Over 43.5 and under 43.5 are very, very, very close at 12 and 9%. So we're going to run another additional poll. To poll the live chat. On the under or the over 43.5, so we can see where you guys are rolling. If you're rolling with the over, select the over and then drop a comment in the comment section saying you're taking the over. If you're taking the under, make sure you hit the under in the poll and then drop a comment in the under as well. And what I really want to know in the comment section, what I really want to know is your best prop bet of the day for this game. Put it in the comment section of the live chat. Share it with everybody. Let's see what we can come up with. Best prop bet for you in the comment section, as well as run those poll numbers. Ready, set, go. All right, as of right now, at the early lead is the over at 57% to the 43% on the under as well. Mr. Grover likes the over. There we go. Ronaldo says Dalton is a starter. Yes, that's where all signs pointed 2 hours ago. Oh, it's official? There you go. Well, just because it makes scores mobile, don't rule it as official until it comes out by the Saints. I know it was a game time decision, but all signs point towards Dalton. It should be Dalton. More than likely, it'll be Dalton. I know Dalton and Winston both limited in practice. Anthony says the over. Blake says, gotta be the over. Too low for an under. Corey says, Chris Olev, anytime TD. Ross Pitt says, take the over. Rich says, prop bet Kamara over for touches if Dalton starts. Anthony says, Hopkins 1 TD. More than likely, anytime TD. Robert likes the over. The consensus in the live chat so far, after just a few votes so far, not even half of you guys here just yet. 71% said roll with the over 43.5. 29% with the under. By the way, if you haven't done so, greatly hit that thumbs up button. X out of the live chat if you're on your mobile device. Just hit that little X. Then you'll be able to see the thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button, and then you can log right back into the live chat and start participating again. Joe, what's going on, brother? Mr. Grover says he thinks the over should be more like 48.5. I agree with you on that one. I do. Robert Hanna says the over, and look at all the over bettors here. I'm going to be honest, it's more fun to bet the over. Even though an under is a winner until it goes over, it is a lot more fun to root for points. That is a fact. That is a fact. As far as the total on this one goes, if you want to know, you need to watch the daily free play video. I've pretty much given it away what we're doing. Mr. Reyes, what's going on, man? As far as the side goes, if you want to know, you got to get on board for that one. Going to be taking a look in college football as well. And we'll roll some polls in college football as well, because the polls are fun to see where you guys... The little straw polls are cool. It's fun to see where you guys are rolling and what you're doing as well. So, it's pretty decisive, 68-32 in favor of the over. Unless something drastic changed, we're going to say the consensus on the live chat is rolling with the over. We're going to end that poll, and we're going to start the next one. And start start gearing towards college football. Out of curiosity, do you guys like participating in the polls? Do you guys like seeing the numbers that are up there? I think it's interesting. I think it's neat because we can see where the live chat is very close on something. Then we could run an individual poll like the over, the under, and then you can find out that it really wasn't that far off. Or that close anyways. All right, so let's draw the next one. Next poll coming up between Virginia and Georgia Tech. Everybody likes it. Very good. Very good. I was having fun with it, so we were going to keep it regardless if you guys fucking liked it or not. All right? We were keeping it regardless. Virginia, Georgia Tech. Line on this one is set at 3. Whoop, hold on. I don't know if I can edit the poll. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Gosh darn it. Sorry. Sorry. That was an error on my part. It said Georgia, and it should have said Georgia Tech. Not that you guys wouldn't have known the difference, but I'll get it back up there. I thought it said edit, and it said end. That's what I get for jumping to conclusions. All right. All right, it's back up there. I wonder if I could delete that old one somehow, so that way it... Nope. Blake says that was a quick poll. 50-50 Virginia, Georgia. Nobody took the over, the under. But no, the correct poll is up there. Are you rolling with Georgia Tech laying 3, Virginia plus the 3, the over or the under? All right? This is just for the best bet. If we get one that is close, within, that are obviously different than each other, taking Virginia or Georgia Tech. If those numbers were close, we'd run another straw poll to show who's on which side. But as of right now, Georgia Tech laying the 3 is getting 50% of the votes. Virginia plus the 3, just 12%. The under coming in at 12% at 46.5, as well as the over nabbing 33%. Just going to throw these out there before we jump into the game day breakdown. Virginia 4-1-1 to the under in their last 6 games with their head coach. All right, Virginia's new head coach 4-1-1 to the under. Virginia 8-2 against the spread the last 10 games on the road versus an opponent after a conference straight-up win. All right? After a conference straight-up win, Georgia Tech beaten Duke 23-20 in their most recent game. The head-to-head matchup in the last 4 matchups in this head-to-head series all went over the total. All went over the total. Probably why 36% of all you guys that are taking polls, which is not many of you because a lot of you guys are not even participating, all selected the over. The other 36% selected Georgia Tech. 18% selected Virginia plus the 3, and 9% rolling with the under as of right now. Now, take a look at Virginia and Georgia Tech. They are both averaging in the 17 points per game range. 17.8 for Virginia, 17.3 for Georgia Tech. Virginia averages 130 rushing yards a game at 4 yards per carry. 153 for Georgia Tech at 4.4 yards per carry. Very similar numbers. All right, very similar numbers. Virginia averaging 227 in the air at 6.3 yards per passing attempt. Georgia Tech 179 in the air at 6 yards per passing attempt. Very similar numbers offensively. I do like the fact that Virginia airs it out a little bit more, 6 times a game more, which is not a lot. 1 extra possession, 2 extra possessions, but they're averaging a little more in the air per game. Defensively, Georgia Tech gives up 28 points a game. Virginia, 24.8. Slight advantage for Virginia on what they give up as far as points-wise, as well as controlling the run. Virginia holding teams to 163 a game at 4 yards per carry. Georgia Tech, not much different at 181 at 4.1 yards per carry. A tenth of a yard difference, not much there. All right? That secondary, the passing defense. Virginia gives up 212 a game in the air at 7 yards per carry. 208 for Georgia Tech at 6.4 yards per carry. Fairly even Steven. So this is where the advantage lies Georgia Tech. 1, they're at home, and 2, they're turnovers. Georgia Tech is +8 in the turnover department. Virginia, -4. 12 turnover advantage in favor of Georgia Tech. That's huge. If you ask me, that's huge. All right? That's huge if you ask me. Now, is it big enough to warrant them laying 3 at home? Well, Georgia Tech, 3-3 straight up. 3-3 against the spread. And then you've got Virginia, who's obviously sitting with the losing record here, 2-4 straight up, and a disaster of a team to bet on, 1-5 against the spread. Let's take a look at Virginia. 2-4. They started out the season with a win over Richmond, beating them 34-17. They came back. They lost to the Fighting Illini 24-3. We were betting the Illini. They came back. They beat Old Dominion by 2, 16-14. They did not cover the 9 points they were laying. They lost to Syracuse 22-20. They covered as an underdog. They were catching 10 points in that game. They lost by 2. Then they got slaughtered by Duke 38-17. And they got slaughtered by Louisville 34-17. All right, keep in mind, their opponent today, Georgia Tech, just beat Duke 23-20. They also beat Pittsburgh the week before that, 26-21. They lost to UCF 27-0. They lost to Ole Miss 42-0. They beat Western Carolina 35-17, and they had a 41-10 shutout ass-kicking by Clemson. As far as this one goes, the chat is getting kind of close. As far as the live poll goes, between Virginia plus the 3 and Georgia Tech laying the 3. And, you know, it may warrant an individual poll. I think it definitely does warrant the individual poll on this one between the sides. So we're going to end this one, which not many of you guys have voted. But we're going to end it. And we're going to run a new one for Virginia plus the 3 or Georgia Tech laying the 3, and we're going to see what you guys roll with. I guess it helps if I spell things correctly, right? Alrighty. Hopefully, I can't really see that screen so far away. So, new poll, new straw poll for everybody. You rolling with Virginia plus the 3, or you rolling with Georgia Tech laying the 3? As far as the total goes, we do have a play on this one, so you're going to want to know on the total. You're going to want to be on board for that one. But I don't mind dropping this poll down here and seeing what we can come up with here. All right, so Ross Pitt says, Georgia Tech is doing much better since they fired their coach. I'm all over Georgia Tech and the money line. Enticing. Enticing that it is. Alrighty. So you guys keep voting, and we're going to start pulling up the information. It's pretty decisive. Georgia Tech, 67%. Virginia catching 33% of the votes at plus the 3. So if things don't change there, it's pretty decisive in the chat. By the way, the NHL with another winner yesterday, and if you're not on the NHL package, you're flat out missing out. If you're not on the NHL package, you are flat out missing out. All right? You're flat out missing out. The early bird special is going to be ending on Sunday. Sunday at midnight, the early bird special will be ending. So if you're not on it, you are going to miss out. The NHL with another winner yesterday. And the NHL just continues to win year after year after year after year. So I keep telling you guys, and a lot of you guys already know it, so hopefully the ones that are not will wisen up and get on it. And I don't even do the NHL plays. I wish I could take credit because they're that fucking good. They're that good, I wish I could take credit for it. Alrighty, just jumping into something here, and we're going to take a look at the next game up on the board. All right. So, the next one. Troy and South Alabama. I think it's safe that we could end our little straw poll with 69% saying Georgia Tech laying the 3 is the best bet. Virginia plus the 3 is probably the best bet. And we're going to run this again. Or run a poll again. For the next game, that is. Same scenario. Troy plus 3. South Alabama laying 3. Total sitting at 47.5. Over or under. Let's do a straw poll of the live chat. After you vote, drop a comment down below with what you voted on. Mr. Reyes says Georgia Tech laying the 3. I like it, I like it, I like it. All right. Jumping into this one. Troy, 5-2 straight up. 5-2 against the spread. South Alabama, 5-1 straight up. 4-2 against the spread. Somebody's going to break here. Both of these teams, quality, quality, quality when it comes to putting money on them. All right? Troy has won the last 4 against the spread versus South Alabama. Troy, 7-0-1 against the spread their last 8 games on the road versus an opponent the week before playing Arkansas State. Who comes up with these stats? But they are 7-0-1. When it comes to playing against a team, the week before that team's got to play Arkansas State. By the way, South Alabama 9-1 to the under at home when favored by 7 or less points. When South Alabama is at home, folks, and it is a close game of 7 or less as a favorite for South Alabama, they are 9-1 to the under. 9-1 to keep that game close and low scoring. What do we expect out of this one? All right, what do we expect out of this one? We're going to find out. We're going to dive right into it. By the way, the last meeting last year, November 6th, so, almost a year ago, it was a 31-24 victory by Troy. 31-24, which would be well over the 47.5. Before we jump into this breakdown, early straw poll numbers have the live chat loving South Alabama laying the 3 at home. 52% of the bettors there. 35% are saying Troy plus the 3. Nobody has taken the over as the best bet of the day. The under is sitting at 47.5, has 13% of the voters. If you haven't voted, vote now. And then when you're done with that, give us a big thumbs up in this video. It's just that little thumbs up right down below. You might have to X out of the live chat if you're on your phone or your mobile device. Take a look at Troy, averaging 24.3 points per game. They're averaging a measly 88 rushing yards a game. That is it, folks. A measly 88 rushing yards a game. 2.7 yards per carry. You want to run the ball? Don't call yourselves Troy, because Troy is not running the ball very well this year. All right, South Alabama averaging 162 rushing yards a game, 4.2 yards per carry. And by the way, Troy has been running the ball for 32 plays a game, and they're still averaging just 88 rushing yards. South Alabama is averaging 7 more rushing plays than Troy, and they're averaging 162 a game, over double. That passing, Troy, they're going to air it out, folks, averaging 313 yards a game in the air, 9 yards per passing attempt. South Alabama averaging 298 in the air at 8.4 yards per passing attempt. But where I think we need to focus in on is the defense and what they give up. Very similar numbers. Very similar numbers. 21.3 points a game is what South Alabama averages given up to opposing offenses. Just 19.3, a 2-point differential for Troy. All right, let's start with Troy. The average giving up 112 a game on the ground, holding teams to 112 yards rushing a game at 3.2 yards per carry. It's going to be interesting to see if South Alabama can keep up that 4.2 yards per average carry against this Troy front line. Troy is also given up 229 in the air at 6.3 yards per passing attempt. And then South Alabama, let's take a look at them. They're holding teams true to a 95 rushing yards a game at 3.2 yards per carry. So don't look for Troy to magically break that run game open, because they haven't had it all year long. I don't expect them to pick it up against a stiff competition of South Alabama today. Now, South Alabama defending the air gives up 232 a game in the air at 6.9 yards per passing attempt. Troy should be able to have plenty of opportunities to move the ball down the field in the air, not on the ground. All right? Now, this is where a big advantage is. There is a 9 turnover advantage in favor of South Alabama, the home team. They are +8 on turnovers, whereas Troy is -1. -1 is not that big of a deal. The fact that South Alabama has created turnovers to the point where they are +8 on turnovers, which means they have forced a fumble, intercepted a ball, whatever the case may be, 8 more times than they've lost it in a very short season so far. 6 games. Shows a lot. They are 5-1 against the spread. 5-1 straight up. 4-2 against the spread. 4-2 to the over. Whereas the other team is the opposite. After 7 games, they're 4-3 to the under. What to expect out of this one? Points. 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 Not one person in this live chat has said the over 47.5 is the best bet. Not one, except for me. But it doesn't let me vote. If it let me vote, that's where I'd be putting my money on this game. And that's where I'm putting my money on this game. Free play. Troy, South Alabama, over 47.5. And not one of you selected that as your best bet of the day. Now, we're going to run a little poll, and we're going to see, for the side of the game, where you guys think is the best bet for the side. I already gave you the free play on the total, and that's where my money's going, all right? All right, there's the poll for the side. Troy plus the 3. South Alabama laying the 3. Post up in the comment section what you are rolling with after you make your vote. And then we'll go from there. Pack, what's going on, man? I'm gonna be honest. I like running the polls. I think it's fun. I think it gives us a nice little conversation piece. Like as of right now, it's 57-43, which is the difference of 1 vote between South Alabama and Troy. Granted, not many of you guys have voted yet, but I think you guys will here shortly. Just wait till we get a bigger crowd and people realize that we're doing this. I think the numbers and the polls will be a lot more fun, so to speak. I think it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. Ross Pitt says South Alabama minus a 3, or I might even take them on the money line. Mr. Reyes says Troy plus the 3. Shane Johnson says 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Poll numbers after just a few more voters are 64-36, but that could easily change with 2 more votes going the other direction. Now, tomorrow's live show. Anthony says South Alabama in the over. Tomorrow's live show, we'll be back to the 9 a.m. on the west, noon on the east. We'll be back to the normal time for that one. We'll be prepared for that one. Pretty sure FC will be on the live show on Friday as well as the live show on Saturday. Steven92 says all-time Troy is 4-1 away against South Alabama. Exactly. Ross Pitt says, South Alabama hung around with UCLA. It was like in the 40s each team. So, I'm going to go, I like the offense. I'm going to go with an offensive team. Hey, you can't win if your offense can't score. Plain and simple. In order for you to win, you got to score more points than the other team. If your offense can't score, then you're not going to win many games. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And the defenses are very similar as well. I don't know why I'm straining to read this screen way over here. Not these two. There's another screen right over here. I'm trying to read the comment section over here. But yet I got it right in front of me. Well, hello, dingbat. Steven says, Troy is 7-3 all-time in the series and averages 26.7 points per game. Cha-ching ching. South Alabama is definitely the consensus vote at 69% to 31% for Troy in the live chat. Reading through some of the comments. So, that is what we have on this one. Already free play in the comment section. I believe the Vibe board should be back tomorrow or Saturday. The Vibe board should be back and on camera by Saturday, hopefully. If not tomorrow. If not tomorrow. Same thing with the screens, all of that. We should be back to normal. Steven says the over sounds like the right side. The best thing about it is not one person in here other than me put it as the best bet of the day. Not one. Everybody was afraid to take it. Everybody was afraid to take it. Except for me. Except for this guy. Except for this crazy guy. Except for this crazy guy. By the way, if you want something in the NFL, watch the daily free play video. Not only did I give you guys a free play, but I also dropped 2 prop bets in there that are going to cash. that are going to cash. And I will be at that game. So we're going to have some fun. By the way, if you're on my personal plays, they will be out in a little bit. They are not out yet. Don't worry, you're not going to miss nothing. There's nothing early. If you're not on the soccer, you can get a week of soccer for $99 right now. 7 full days of the soccer package, $99. There is 2 soccer games posted for today. 2 soccer games posted for today. If you're not on them, don't miss out. Don't miss out. All right. That is what I have for our live show today. But let's have some fun and let's make some money. But something you guys always got to remember is to wager responsibly. It don't matter if it's a big one, like a game of the year. We saw it yesterday. 12 hits, 6 walks, 18 runners reached first base. We got everything that we wanted, including 5 home runs. Yet, we couldn't get 7 runs. So, no matter what happens, one thing you guys always got to remember is the wagering responsible part, okay? Never like to see anybody get... It's the difference between getting crushed and getting hurt so bad that you can't come back and recover from it the next day. So always make sure no matter what you're doing, we're recovering from it, okay? Or capable of recovering from it. Because if you can't, then you're screwed. We don't want anybody to be screwed. We want everybody to be able to recover if something bad was to happen. Because shit happens, like we saw last night. It does. Shit happens, unfortunately. And when it does happen, we want to be able to bounce back strong. Oops. And if you're on my personal plays, they'll be out shortly. Pax says preach on. You know, a lot of people in this industry just want you to bet as much as physically possible, as fast as possible. But I want you guys to be able to win the race of longevity. And longevity matters in this industry. Because if we lost yesterday, we could win today. I don't care if you lost. I lost a lot yesterday. I lost over 50K on one game yesterday. But it's okay. Did it sting? Yeah, fuck yeah. Did it piss me off? Absolutely. Am I upset? To a point, to an extent. But it's not going to affect my life or my livelihood or if I could put food on the table or pay the mortgage or make the car payment, whatever. Does it hurt? Yeah. Does it sting? Yeah. But I'm still okay to the point where it may take us a week, or may take us a day, or may take us 2 weeks. Whatever the case may be for you, or me, we bounce back. We win it back. Fuck, tomorrow I got my game of the week. And man, I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, my game of the week will be on the website more than likely later today. Not going to be tomorrow. It'll be posted on the website today kind of thing. And if you were on last week's game of the week, it was Navy versus SMU. Everybody in the world was rolling with the under, and we had the over 57. And if you guys remember that game, there were 74 total points. First half it was 13-7. I'm getting fuck you text messages. Man, this sucks. Only, 20 points in the first half. Yada, yada, yada. Boom. Okay. 27 in the third. 27 in the fourth. Settle down, folks. Settle down. It was never in doubt. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And we got all the points. Didn't start out as fast-paced as we wanted. But once they got rolling, they got rolling. So, I lost yesterday, a big one. It's okay. I know what I've got tomorrow is going to be a good one. I know what I got tomorrow is going to be a big one. I'm going to get most of my money back tomorrow. And you guys will have that same opportunity. So, just remember that. Pack says preach on, number one rule. Damn straight. Always wager responsibly because we'll dig you out of the hole. We always do. All right? Don't matter if it's free plays or guaranteed plays or game of the year or premium plays, personal plays, whatever the case may be. Ross says, why I like the Houston Navy game over, but it seems like it dropped from 53 to 51, but I still like the over. There could be some weather moving in. Possibly. I know their last matchup, there was only 48 total points, so that line may have opened high and it's maybe just correcting. But that's what I have for you today, folks. We'll be back live tomorrow. Noon on the East, 9 a.m. on the West. Noon East, 9 West. We'll be live again. And looking forward to it. We're going to break down all of college football tomorrow. And we're going to have some fun. All right? Good luck, everybody. Wager responsibly.